It's honestly unbelievable for me to say this. Lamborghini's supercar that almost every person recognizes, from its fighter jet inspired looks to the Y-shaped headlights to the taillights that look like 3 pointing arrows. And who could forget its extremely loud 6.5 liter naturally aspirated V12 and the harshness of the shifts when it changes gears. After 10 years, it is done. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe down below to help me reach my goal of 2,000 subscribers before the end of 2021. And also, we do have a ton of car content that is coming up, including exciting supercar vlogs. So if you're a car fan like me, you're going to like this channel. But without further ado, let's jump right into everything we need to know about the new Aventador Ultimae. So first of all, there will be 350 coupes and 250 roadsters. If you're a true car enthusiast, you probably already know what the Aventador's engine is. A 6.5 liter naturally aspirated V12 that is codenamed L539. And when it first debuted, it produced 691 horsepower or 700 metric horsepower, and over time the Aventador's engine has evolved from 691 horsepower all the way up to 819 horsepower in the Scion, which makes it a hybrid. But the Aventador Ultimae is the most powerful non-hybrid Aventador ever made, and it produces 769 horsepower, which is 780 metric horsepower. It even produces more horsepower than the Aventador SVJ, which is the most hardcore Aventador ever built, which produced 759 horsepower, which is 770 metric horsepower, and the SVJ even took the crown for the fastest car around the Nürburgring. So yes, the Aventador is very remembered in the car world. The Ultimae will do a 0 to 62 mile an hour sprint in just 2.8 seconds, an 8.7 second 0 to 124 mile an hour time, and a 221 mile an hour top speed, which makes it the fastest Aventador ever made. Now, the 221 mile an hour top speed is just for the coupe, but we don't have an official top speed for the Roadster. It produces 39 more horsepower than the Aventador S and 10 more horsepower than the Aventador SVJ, and it produces 39 horsepower less than the Scion, but the Scion uses something called a supercapacitor to boost the horsepower up to 819 horsepower, but that makes it a hybrid. And speaking of the engine, let's take a listen to how it sounds. It honestly sounds like an Aventador SVJ, and the SVJ has this really deep growl, but at higher RPMs it has this raspy roar of its V12, and I'm describing this based on how it sounds in person. So this sounds almost exactly like that. The coupe weighs 3,417 pounds without fluids inside the car, but there is also no confirmed weight for the Roadster. The name Ultimae means last or final edition, and in this case it makes sense because this is the final edition Aventador. Now, the full name of the Aventador Ultimae isn't just Aventador Ultimae. The full name is Lamborghini Aventador LP780-4 Ultimae. 780-4 represents the horsepower, and the -4 represents it being all-wheel drive, because this car is all-wheel drive, just like every single other Aventador variant that has been made. And as I said, the name Ultimae means final, so it makes sense. Now, as I said, this car is all-wheel drive, but it also does have all-wheel steering, and that all-wheel steering system is inherited from the Aventador S. And the four-wheel steering turns the rear wheels in the opposite direction of the front wheels, giving it a better turning radius, and when you want to change lanes at a high speed, it will move in the same direction as the front wheels, making the car move in a diagonal direction. And speaking of the wheels, it comes with forged alloy wheels as standard, and 20-inch rims in the front, and 21 inches in the back. The main aspect of the car that will be gluing you down to the road are Pirelli P0 Corsa tires, and this is quite insane because it will come with 18 different standard colors. That's not the total amount of colors, that is just the standard colors, so just wait until the special colors come. That is a lot. Now, as I said in the beginning of the video, the Aventador has been around for over 10 years now, and many people have been excited for its successor, but many people like me don't want it to go, so Lamborghini has delayed the successor due to COVID-19 and all that stuff. But the Aventador SVJ was supposed to be the last Aventador variant ever being made, but I guess the standard SVJ wasn't enough, so then they made the SVJ Roadster, then the SVJ 63 edition, and then the SVJ 63 Roadster. But I guess those weren't enough, so now they made the Aventador Ultimae. The Aventador was first introduced at the 2011 Geneva Motor Show, and ever since then it has been an icon. The looks, the doors, the sound. In my opinion, it is the best sounding car ever made, and this could likely be the last Lamborghini ever being made without the assistance of hybridization. Alright, now I'm going to talk about my thoughts on the design of the Aventador Ultimae. Alright, now first off, we have a front view of it. Now you can easily tell that this is an Aventador based on the headlights. Now the front really doesn't look all that special, considering that this is the special version and the final edition of the Aventador. It really just looks like an Aventador S, except you have these red pinstripes that are on the splitter of the car near the little fangs of the Aventador S's front bumper. But the colored pinstripes on the front bumper are an optional extra, so you can have it all blacked out or you can have it colored, but if you have it colored, it would make it more special. It just looks like a wrapped Aventador S with an aftermarket front splitter, but this is still stock. This massive intake on the side is borrowed from the Aventador SVJ, and let me just say, this is one of the biggest intakes I've ever seen on a car ever made. Now, one thing I really admire and one thing I really appreciate Lamborghini for doing on this is that it uses the same rear deck lid as the original LP700-4 Aventador, and that pays tribute to the original one, which is just such a cool thing in my opinion. And then it has the SVJ rear style bumper, except you don't have the crazy ALA system with the SVJ and its crazy rear wing. This is a more subtle approach, but then you have dual rear exhaust in the middle of the car. You have a crazy massive rear diffuser just like the SVJ, and then taking a quarter rear view at this car, it looks like an Aventador SVJ without a wing essentially, but this car just takes the original Aventador and then just mixes the SVJ, which is the hardcore variant of it, and then mashes it all to one, and then this is the result, the Aventador Ultimae. Say goodbye to one of the most iconic supercars ever made, the Aventador, but say hello to the future of Lamborghini. But yeah, that is basically it for today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, please give it a like, subscribe down below if you haven't already, and it would help me reach my goal of 2,000 subscribers before the end of 2021. And also, we do have a ton of car content that is coming up, including exciting supercar vlogs. So if you're a car fan like me, you're gonna like this channel. And are you just excited that the Aventador is finally gone, or are you sad that it's leaving? Personally, I'm just really sad that the Aventador is gone, but I also cannot wait to see the successor of the Aventador. But if you loved today's video, I know you love some of my other videos, so I recommend you go check them out. But I hope to see you in a future video. Bye for now. Oh.